Hello, I'm the Bunnyman,
And I'm Crazy Suzzy.
and we are in the Eyes of Terror, and I like Buddy Flapjacks.
Our film today is Lumberjack Man.
2015. It's 1 hour and 45 minutes.
It's a comedy horror, and it is rated R, not for the kiddos.
A lot of blood in this one.
It is. IMDb gives it a score of 4.3 out of 10.
Wow.
So high.
Probably one of the higher ones, though. We've catalog of horrible horror.
Or lately, anyway.
Thank you for all that has been returning to our podcast and the increased downloads. Thank you all for who are new and who are returning. We do appreciate you tuning in. I don't think we say that enough, but we really do appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
For your knowledge, we do have a merch store on Redbubble. It's Eyes of Terror, and we have not just horror-related stuff, but also Christmas and Halloween, and some just fun designs that I have designed. So, if you're in the mood to check out some merch and support this podcast, you can check it out, get some stuff. And we have a lot of the older illustrations from like the first season when I was actually doing illustrations back in the day. And your merch will actually go back to me producing more illustrations. It's just currently we don't have the extra funds to put into getting a new printer.
Right.
Which is a vital part of what I need to do. I'd love to be able to do that. It's just right now it's not in the budget, but at some point we will be getting one, but you can help by doing that. If you so choose so. No, if not, just tuning in helps out the podcast. Telling your friends that you like to listen to us talk about horrible movies. They might look at you weird too, but...
Well, you know.
Or if your friends can't watch horror movies, they can listen to this podcast and get the feeling of what is out there. Because we subject ourselves so you don't have to.
And I do apologize. I recently got braces, so I do have a slight lisp. It's not as horrible, I'm sure, as it could be, but...
Braces. But they were much needed, so...
I guess it could be much worse.
Yep. So you want to hop into what are you drinking?
What are you drinking?
What am I drinking? I'm drinking a can. And
A can? Are you a goat now?
Inside this can is Gypsy Circus Cider Company Caravan by Hutton Smith Brewing Company out of Chattanooga, Tennessee.
It's called Gypsy? Or
Gypsy.
Gypsy. It sounded like you said Gypsy. Even I with the braces can say that.
Maybe I ran them together and my head thought something else. It's a Black Currant and Ginger collaboration cider. It's 12 fluid ounces. It's 355 milligrams, 148 calories per can. On the back is Gypsy Circus. Gypsy Circus. Caravan Tour featuring Black Currant and Ginger hard cider in collaboration with Hutton Smith Brewing Company. Handcrafted and canned by Gypsy Circus Cider Company in Kingsport, Tennessee.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
A lot of information.
Seems like it.
Well, you can smell the black currant, which is good. That's actually quite delightful. You want to sniffer it? Sniffer. So I give this a 4 out of 5. It is a good cider. I'm a big fan of black currant. And it's mostly black currant with a hint of ginger. So I'd rather have it that way than a ginger with a hint of black currant.
Ginger's very overpowering. So if they were able to balance that, then they did a pretty damn good job.
Yeah, and it's not as sour as I thought it was going to be.
What did we watch this on? We have a
hard copy of it. And what are you drinking?
I am drinking Diet Dr. Pepper.
Again, with the Diet Dr. Pepper, because you can't drink.
They call it Dr. Pepper. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Alright, back to our movie, Lumberjack Man, 2015. You want to take it away?
We have a hard copy of this film, so...
This one's one of the more harder to find, and it was just a weird happenstance that we came upon this film.
It's a film that we watch at least once a year minimum. a lot of times twice a year. Usually around this time of year.
It gets in that, like, outdoorsy camp itch.
Campy mood, yeah. We have a hard copy of it, and I think we happened to find it either at, like, a Dollar General. But it is for rent for pretty cheap, like a couple bucks on Amazon and YouTube, but it is worth watching. I just hate not giving you guys options of places that you can watch it for free, but unfortunately I haven't found one.
Yeah.
If you do, please let us know. Okay. So as we mentioned, it's Lumberjack Men 2015. It's rated R. It's 1 hour and 45 minutes long. It's a comedy horror. The director is Josh Bear, like teddy bear. The writers are Josh Bear, Bill Muehl, I probably butchered that, Matt Entin, and Ed Kuehnel. I probably butchered that too. So the cast are Michael Madsen, plays Dr. Peter Shirtcliff. Ciara Flyn plays Faith Fitzsimmons. Jarrett King plays Reggie. Brina Palencia plays LuAnn Potts. Alex Dobrenko plays Jeff. Chase Joliet plays Kellenberger. Adam Sessler plays Doug. Andy San Demos plays Theresa. Christopher Sabat plays Sepp. Arthur Simone plays Leon. Jasmine Karina plays Jacqueline. The full list can be found on imdb.com. And the basic synopsis is, as the staff of Good Friends Church Camp prepares for a spring break filled with fun under the sun, not SUNSON,
Har har.
a demon logger rises from the sap boiler to wreak his vengeance and feast on the flapjacks soaked in the blood of his victims. Because everybody knows that flapjacks aren't good unless they're soaked in the blood of your enemies.
The blah!
Then they're really scrumptious.
I like them cooked so they're crispy with a bit of blood clots.
At least once a year, I'll make them a big stack of flapjacks with homemade berry compote.
Yep.
Because of this movie.
And I'll wear my flannel.
So, we just had flapjacks with apple butter on them. And it's just not the same. But it is good. And unfortunately, in the fall, you have to get frozen berries. But they do freeze them at the peak of ripeness. So,
Either way, I highly suggest either one.
it's good stuff.
Just make sure that the blood is clean.
Now, you cook it.
Yeah, true.
Unless you just, cut it out of the person
Well,
and
he
eat it
didn't-
while it's still hot.
He didn't cook it, he just...
He liked it while it was still warm from the body.
True. Alright.
There were some big old flapjacks.
They were massive.
They're like wheelbarrow-sized flapjacks.
So let's get into the movie so we can discuss how massive these wheelbarrow flapjacks really are.
We're interesting people. You guys should meet us in person. We actually thought about, in the next year or two, trying to do horror cons. So if you guys have any suggestions as to which ones we should do, we'd appreciate that.
Yes.
So the movie begins in a dusty cabin.
Dun dun dun.
That's a really good joke. You guys just don't know it. The lumberjack man is sharpening his axe and mixing up a perfect batch of flapjacks.
They really are the perfect flapjacks. Cooked just right. There's something about flapjacks cooked on an open flame or on a pot-belly stove that just make it that much better.
So crispy.
Mm-hmm.
He heats the griddle and pours on a double batch. Now a youth group is riding in a bus and so concerned about young adult things. Everyone is up in arms over the new girl, Jacqueline, because she is gifted in the flapjack area.
Wow, wow. My pancakes bring the boy to the yard.
Doug, the camp director, is a dork.
Is a dork. Dark dork. From the grim dark.
Is a dork, and no one likes him or his marbles. The rules are, number 1, no masturbating.
Oh.
This camp is boring. Number 2, no laughing like a liberated woman. What is there to do at this camp if you can't masturbate or laugh like a liberated woman?
Especially both at the same time.
Good God. The doctor goes to the general store and asks where the bus is going and shows the store attendant the picture he took of the girls on the bus that flashed him.
On a church bus?
How dare they?
Jesus is looking and he likes what he sees.
I can't believe he said that. He says, since school is out, it must be the church camp. So the doc buys ammo and flapjack mix. The store attendant tells him it's the best breakfast you can get in a box. The doc replies, you don't know what breakfast is. They get to the campsite and the bus driver abruptly stops and tells them to get out.
Get out.
Doug has a little talk with LuAnn because there was an issue last summer when he took campers to the casino and parents were not happy.
Because they blew the college fund.
He gives Doug the middle finger and drives on. Doug introduces everyone to the rest of the staff. Reggie, the cook, says he's making flapjacks for supper.
Breakfast for dinner.
That sounds really good.
Mm-hmm.
Tressa helps give out assignments. LuAnn meets up with some hot lady. They say they should just leave him for making them wait all morning, but he has party favors. He parks the bus in a secluded area, and they help LuAnn get off.
You know, don't come knocking when the bus is rocking.
But the lumberjack man, he interrupts. He interrupts their fun because he needs their blood to top his flapjacks.
Kill 1, 2, and 3. He beheaded and
1 and 2 are headless girls.
Mm-hmm. No, that's basically what I was going to say.
What about number 3?
I said beheaded and thrown through the ceiling. All 3 of them.
1 and 2 are headless girls.
Yeah.
What about 3? 3 is LuAnn, but...
I think he was just like killed. It was just like, meh. I give it a 4 out of 5. It's just a fun kill.
The 2 stoner boys are out in the woods getting their tweak on when the stable counselor finds them and makes them come and muck the stables while he smokes their joint.
I think they were also drawing naughty images of 2 other girls that were on the volleyball court.
He gets so high that they are able to make figures out of poo and trick him into thinking they are still there working.
Yeah.
Then the lumberjack man comes and he thinks it's his ex-girlfriend and he loves on him.
This must be some really good weed.
But he takes his head off. The stoners, running off unaware, they run into Tressa's cabin and spy on her through the window. So number 4 is the stable man. He thought he found his long-lost love, but instead...
He found the cuddling arms of a giant silent lumberjack man who was out for blood for his flapjack.
He lost his head.
Off
with his head!
But kill number 4. Cut his head from his shoulders and fatalities him onto a stack of massive flapjacks. Another 4 out of 5. It was a work of art.
They don't even get to feel how comfy the flapjacks are before they lose their head.
I know.
They don't even get to go, oh, this is the most comfortable flapjacks I've ever laid on.
Who needs memory foam when you have a giant flapjack? Instead of flapjacks to lay on. The most comfortable thing I've ever had. You probably would eat the bed.
I just need a big old egg blankie just to roll up in. Where's my blankie of egg whites? I just need it to roll up in so I can take a nap.
And you have a side of bacon for your pillow?
That's too crispy. Maybe a slice of angel food cake or something.
There you go.
I don't know. Scrambled eggs.
There it is. Scrambled eggs.
I'm just hungry. That's my problem. So, the stoners are running off unaware. They run into Tressa's cabin and spy on her through the window. She dumps a whole bottle of lotion on her chest. Doug catches them and looks into the window, and she sees him and screams, "Ah!"
Put the lotion on your skin. Oh, a titty rating. 5 out of 5. They're a good size and very perky.
So the Dr. Shirtcliff goes to the sheriff's office and tells them they need to clear out of the woods. She says she needs a really good reason. The doctor says he can't divulge it. She gets aggravated and pulls out some newspaper clippings.
Uh-oh.
The deputy follows him outside and gives him directions to the camp.
Well, the articles say the sassy sheriff, whatever, as he pull out the paper, we find out articles of mass murder to go find out every 30 years on this Tuesday, very specific, he comes out. Also, there's a really good meatloaf recipe on those articles.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 girls were at the lake and decided to go topless. You got a titty reading on that? Did you miss it?
I may have missed it.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh.
They're splashing and having fun. All the while, a little porker perv was hiding, and the lumberjack man dropped a tree on him, and his blood splattered onto the flapjacks.
1 out of 5. Poor Ernie.
So number 5 is Porky Perv,
Who is also named Ernie.
I always give people weird nicknames when I put them down.
Yeah, it really wasn't that great, but you feel sorry for Ernie.
He was just trying to get a eyeful, that's all.
Yeah.
2 of the kids were out in the woods doing sinful things, and the girl asked Trevor to go get her a cig because she was out. He tells her girls who smoke look like prostitutes and leaves. The lumberjack gets him, then comes back for her.
He strangles him.
So 6 and 7 are sinful twins.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say?
Strangling.
He strangles both of them?
Mm-hmm.
He tries to turn her into furniture and gets bored. So he just throws her against a tree.
No, I have it wrong. So next is he strangles him. Next, blank, whoever, is insulting poor Trevor on his inability to please her. Then Trevor head hits her. Then the lumberjack makes her into a human pretzel. Then the lumberjack decides what to do with her, and he places a pancake on her head. But he decides to throw her against a tree. So he puts a pancake on her head and then chucks her on the tree.
The other kids at camp, one girl tries to help make the flapjack dinner, but goes way off on the directions. Then they all have a food fight.
No, they're not just off the directions. They're Italian pancakes.
They're Italian pancakes.
That's what she calls them, Italian pancakes.
There's no such thing as Italian
Exactly. She just puts a bunch of random stuff in it, and it's like, oh, these are Italian pancakes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lumberjack man makes his way to the sheriff's station. The sheriff empties an entire clip in him, but he still gets up and comes after her. He comes at her, throws a weapon in her back, but she finds his kryptonite. It's the syrup. he runs away. The two girls from the lake were organizing costumes for the play, and one of them, stoners, came in with wine coolers and convinced them that Jesus drank, so it's okay. They play dress up and drink. The lumberjack man burst.
Not just any drink, they were peach wine and they went to Jesusville.
Sadly, you can't make that up. The lumberjack man burst in through the wall. The girls run. The guy is mad that he ruins his chances and he gets his head bashed in. Stoner number 1. Aww.
Yeah. Kendra and Courtney run away till Kendra gets booby-trapped and Courtney runs away to find help. Then the lumberjack man kill number 6.
No, we're at that first stoner was 8. One of the girls gets caught by a trap set by the lumberjack, and he taps her head to get the blood syrup inside.
Okay. And
so she's number 9.
So number 10 uses Kendra's skull like a...
The other girl keeps running, but he catches up with her and he smashes her head with a flapjack. The first girl, he taps her head like a maple tree. And then the second girl, he just smashes her head with a flapjack.
With a manhole size.
They're massive flapjacks. They're bigger than manhole covers. He literally uses a wheelbarrow to carry them around, and they fit in the wheelbarrow.
I get that. I think I give it a 4. A lot of these kills are 4s just because of the hilarity of them.
The doctor gets to the camp and tries to warn them and tells them how much danger they're in. The doctor tells them to explain, I have to go back to the faithful Tuesday. There was a logger who invited a man to eat flapjacks with him. They ended up being the best he had ever eaten in his whole life. He asked for the recipe and noted, we can make many coins. The logger said he would take the recipe to his grave, and so he did that very day, because the man drowned him in his own syrup and searched his cabin for the recipe and made an empire upon it.
Because these flapjacks weren't like any other flapjacks. They're light and fluffy and ambrosia-like.
How can flapjacks be ambrosia?
You know, ambrosia, the food of the gods, not as in like the dessert.
Ambrosia is a salad.
Ambrosia is also a term used in Greek mythology as the food of the gods.
Okay. Then the doc said the lumberjack is back to seek revenge. Doug asked Reggie to see the doctor out. The doctor is driving away from camp and he nearly runs over the sheriff. She tells him syrup as he helps her into the car. The deputy runs out into the street and says, please remember the onion soup.
Okay, so not only that, but there's also more to the JT story. JT offered to go into partnership with Easter Day, which is the lumberjack, but he denies him because it was a family recipe. So JT drowned the lumberjack in his own syrup. Then JT hunted for the recipe, which was found in a stuffed ocelot. JT made fortunes and funneled his money through the Nazis and died in the arms of a transvestite in Juarez.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep, but the story doesn't end there. The lumberjack comes back in 1967 and killed 67 people, leaving only one survivor. After the doctor is kicked out, he went for a run when shows up and confronts him, basically saying he was a whack job and accepts and go back and eat some pancake. The doctor is driving his smart car when the sheriff runs out in the road, stopping him. She tells him syrup. Then Shep comes out of the woods and he sees the pancakes and is enamored with them. As he is crying and filling up the pancakes, the blackjack comes up and hacks him to death. 3 out of 5, poor Shep. Next we are back in the camp where Jacqueline gives a very awkward prayer that includes cock rings, torture, and how she wants to lay with Doug, like a harlot. Then they are diving into pancakes when Doug pulls Ernest's face from the stack. Then the Lumberjack man interrupts their feast and kills poor Jacqueline and gets a tomahawk in the face. A 2 out of 5, meh. Then Nameless Beard Guy is killed, 3 out of 5. And then during this time, Doug is hiding like a coward as everyone else, Reggie, Doug, and others are hiding. Kill 13 and 14. The other head counselor is killed, 4 out of 5. Implants can be dangerous. The Lumberjack man plunges his hands through her chest and yanks out the implants. As he is doing this, Asian camper is running up screaming. He's taken out by the implants and a knife through the throat. Reggie and Faith make a run for it as another camper holds the door, kill number 666, and gets dragged back by the Lumberjack. They hide in a barn. When they hear footsteps, they charge out with a weapon, only for it to be the doctor. He reveals the sword, the thing that will slay the beast, a pair of used panties, and some syrup. As they are talking, Doug comes out and yells at them for making too much noise. How is he going to survive? So he runs off, only to be sliced in two by a saw. The doctor is telling them they have limited time before the Lumberjack becomes too powerful by eating all the blood-soaked flapjacks. Faith goes off with some tools to slay the Lumberjack. Reggie and the doctor have...
She finds the missing barrel of syrup.
And they also had this really weird exchange about smart cards.
Exchange about what?
Smart cards. This is one of my favorite, back and forth about smart cards. Reggie and Faith get back to the cabin to see the Lumberjack has eaten all the delicious pancakes, and he comes out of the furnace. Reggie hits him with a wrench, and Shep comes back to only be killed again. Kill 7,000. Eat your heart out, Shep. Poor Shep. So brutal for a soft man. Faith tries to hit the Lumberjack with the pack of syrup, only to have her fingers tomahawked off. Then the doctor uses a shotgun, and it slows him down. They go outside. The doctor tries to open the syrup, and to no avail. Then the doctor punches him a few times, only to be knocked out. Then Faith picks up the shotgun and empties it and tosses it, and the Lumberjack tosses her aside. As Reggie and the doctor are laying outside, Faith finds the missing syrup, which alerts the Lumberjack. The doctor tells her to strip down and get naked because cotton is the death fabric.
Is the devil's fabric. So she keeps her undies on and covers herself in syrup. And as the Lumberjack goes after the doctor and Reggie, she tells him she is the great-great-granddaughter
of JT.
Of the man who stole your recipe.
And then hugs the Lumberjack, which causes him to convulse, and he dies. Faith comes out, and they celebrate, defeating the Lumberjack. Then they see a light coming from the cabin, followed by a demonic yell as the cabin explodes. Next, it's daylight, and we see the survivors, Faith, Reggie, and the doctor, and the sheriff. A redneck driving a Ford pickup comes, and they flag him down. He generously picks them up. They pile in the pickup. The redneck tells them a great little pancake place up the road, and Faith reacts.
She says, "You don't know what good pancakes is."
The end.
Doc says, "Thanks."
Yeah, this is another short one. 4.5 out of 5. Although this film might be considered a satire of the genre, I find it quite enjoyable. It has all the earmarks of a horror, suspense, gore, and pretty awesome monster. A background and motivation. The only thing I wish there was more of was pancake or lumberjack puns in the killings. Like, how about them flapjacks or syrup puns? But I think it was funny that, they thought that they could kill the lumberjack man with a small packet of syrup. And here's my question. So does it have to be pure maple syrup? or can be artificial flavored syrup.
So I give it a 3.5.
Death by Mrs. Buttersworth.
That's just how fructose corn syrup flavored to be like syrup.
That's my question. So does it have to be maple syrup or high fructose corn syrup?
I think the movie is funny, but it did lack quite a bit of character development. There was a lot of things that really weren't explained. And, like you said, if they were going the funny route, there was a lot more that they could have done to kind of heighten that.
Yeah, like flapjack Shirtdunkins or something like, the throwing stars, like flapjack shaped stuff like that.
And the end was kind of left open to where they can make another one. Like it acted like he died, but not.
He could resurrect into your next. That'd be weird. You're sitting down to eat some JT pancakes, and all of a sudden this lumberjack man starts forming out of your pancakes, and here comes the.
I don't think that would happen, but it acted like he could come back out of the ashes where he supposedly died.
I don't know. I sort of like he's coming out of the dried ingredients of it. Like somehow his ashes get combined. Sort of like this Chucky style weird thing that's going on. Somehow his ashes get blown into a vat of pancake mix, and that's how he survives his soul. I'm just saying, like, if they wanted to, they could go with that type of trope. I mean, this movie was just generally crazy. They'll be playing on a lot of, like, 80s tropes.
Well, I don't think they made a second one. But...
No, I don't think they did, but...
Well, it's a part of the 8 Films to Die For series.
I do not like that series.
Amazon has it, but I'm pretty sure we got it at Dollar General. I mean, we got it at Walmart, I don't know, but there were several of those that we have found. But they do leave the end of it open, like there's a possibility that he might be able to come back. So
the other thing I like about it is sort of the realism of it. Honestly, like, church camp is like that.
I never went to church camp, but
I did, and there's a lot of, like, sinful acts within. You're talking about a bunch of pre-teenage kids, and now you add religion into the mix, and, perversion does happen, and hormones, and minus killing, and the coked up bus driver.
And the oversized flapjacks covered in blood.
Oh, I bet those are delicious. And the lumberjack costume is really simple. It has, like, this, like, tree bark mask type thing, so you don't really see his face, and typical lumberjack man type with red glowing eyes. It's a simple but effective design, so I do enjoy that. I do like that his death was what he was killed in.
He required others to sacrifice something that symbolized what would kill him. He took their blood, and his kryptonite was syrup.
Yeah. But we also learned a few things. That cotton is the devil's fabric. That if you're high enough, you can make out with poop.
That's gross.
That is gross.
I'm not sure I'll ever get that high. Honey, you need a shower.
And be careful where you go to camp at.
For sure.
Is that it?
I believe so.
Only to have flapjacks covered in blood.
Well, I think that's it, guys. We'll scare you later.
Bye.
You are